Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to Sri Jayendra Rank Zone Classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking the zoology part. So, my dear students, in the previous lectures, we have learned about different classes, subclasses of class Reptilia. In that, the order which was left to discuss was the order in which the dinosaurs they belong to, that is order Saurischia. Saurischia. So the order Saurischia basically involves the dinosaurs. So dinosaurs were the most dangerous or terrible lizards. Okay, especially when I talk about the Mesozoic era. Origin of dinosaurs began in Triassic period and they got extinct in Cretaceous period. Okay. The origin of dinosaurs, it began in Triassic period and they got extinct in the Cretaceous period in the Mesozoic era. Example, Brontosaurus is known as thunder lizard. Largest dinosaur is a herbivore, was a herbivore, okay? Stegosaurus. Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus is known as tyrant lizard and it was considered as the king of dinosaurs. Okay, so order Saurischia, it involves basically the dinosaurs. They lived in the Mesozoic era. The origin started in the Triassic age and they extended Cretaceous period. Okay, example Brontosaurus, thunder lizard, largest dinosaurs, herbivores. They were herbivores, Stegosaurus and Tyrannosaurus, which was known as tyrant lizard. Okay, and it is considered as king of dinosaurs. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the next class, that is aves. Understood? Class C, aves. Class A was the Pisces, class B was the amphibians, and class C is aves. Understood? Now, the end of Jurassic period in Mesozoic era was start of the birds, along with the modernization in Cretaceous factor. Okay, there were some factors which lead to modern climatic changes, and these modern factors they could been adapted by the aves, and that is why it lead to the evolution of aves. Okay, so in Cretaceous period, basically the aves they have started to origin. Okay, the science which deals with the study of birds is known as what? Ornithology. Ornithology is considered as the science of which deals with study of birds. Understood? Now, Dr. Salim Ali was the greatest ornithologist of India and thus called Birdman of India. Dr. Salim Ali was considered as the great ornithologist of India and is known as Birdman of India. Understood? Study of eggs laid by a bird are known as oology. So oology is basically the study of eggs, the eggs which were laid by the birds, and the study of these eggs which are laid by a bird are known as what? It is known as what? Oology. Study of the nest that bird builds is known as nidology. The study of nest. Oology is the study of eggs. Huxley, he called birds as glorified reptiles. Huxley, he proposed the term birds as glorified reptiles. The birds have wings arranged on the body which are known as, or which is known as pterolossus, arrangement of wings. So pterolossus is the arrangement of wings on the body of the birds. Understood? Now next is, what are the different main characters of this class Aves? The very first is that this class, the members of this class, it all accommodates, or it is basically having all types of birds. Okay, whether it is a flightless bird or the birds with flight. Body has shape similar to a boat, which has head, neck, trunk, and tail. Mean body is distinct. Body is distinctly divided. Divided into head, neck, and trunk. Neck is long and flexible to lift and move the mouth or beak for food. Okay, so neck is long and is flexible enough, which helps them to basically pick and to move the mouth for food. Understood? Soft feathers, derivative of stratum corneum. Soft feathers, they are considered as derivative of stratum corneum. It covers all the body. It covers the body of all the birds, called as plumage. So the soft feathers, which are the derivative of stratum corneum. Stratum corneum is the outermost layer of skin, which covers the body of all birds, and this is known as what? Plumage. Plumage. So plumage, they can be considered as modified stratum corneum. Birds, they are eurythermals, homeothermals, okay, and they are endothermic, okay. Birds, they are considered as warm-blooded, okay. Their body can maintain the temperature, okay, and they are also known as homeothermals or endothermic organisms. Understood? So birds, they are warm-blooded or homeothermals or endothermic animals. Now, in the next slide, this is the different types of beaks which is given. You can see in case of sparrow, the beak is very small and conical. Okay. Crow, the beak type is long and slender. Parrot, the beak is hooked shaped. Okay. Hoop, the beak is slender and it is curved. Hummingbird, the beak is like a long cylinder, okay, and it is straight. Eagle, the beak is claw shaped, okay, like a very sharp hook. Duck, the beak is flat. And spoonbill, the beak is basically like a spatula, means like a spoon, like this. Okay, so these are different types of beaks which are modified in the due course of evolution. Now, my dear friends, I am going to talk about their further, more general characteristics. Hind limbs, they have scales. In case of birds, hind limbs only have scales. Only hind limbs have scales, which gives a sign that they are evolved. They are evolved from reptiles. Understood? Skin is dry as it lacks glands. Skin is dry as it is not having any glands. The glands you can see previously in amphibians, the mucus glands, and in reptiles, the parotid or the labial glands modified to form the poison glands. Skin is dry, it lacks glands that secrete oil and softens it. Okay, it maintains or it lubricates it. However, oil glands or preen glands, very important, preen glands are present on the base of tail or europygium. Okay, so the base of the tail is known as what? Europygium, which is having a oil gland, also known as preen glands. Understood? So these preen glands, they were present on the base of the tail or uropygium. The base of the tail is known as what? Uropygium. Understood? Birds, they are also known as feathered, as they have feathers. Bipeds. Bipeds means they have two limbs to walk. Exoskeleton is the soft, feathery covering. Exoskeleton is covered by feathers. It is a soft, feathery covering all over the body except on the hind limbs, because hind limbs is having scales. That is why there is no need of exoskeleton or the covering of feathers. Forelimbs have three digits. Forelimbs, they have three digits and they are developed into wings, which are used in flying and in conserving the heat. Most important, conserving the heat, thermoregulation. Four claws have digits, are found on hind limbs. So hind limbs, the digits, they are having claws to basically make out the proper grasp or grasping power. The limbs are best suited so that the bird can sit on branches of trees, perch, and walk on land or swim in water. The limbs are best suited to the bird so that it can sit on branches of trees, it can perch, walk on land, or swim in water. So hind limbs, they are having four claws having digits, but the forelimbs, they don't have any claws. They have three digits which are modified into wings for flying. Crop is an esophageous modification that quickly ingests and stores food, and gizzard crush, mechanical digestion. The food which is then swallowed unmasticated. Okay, it is unmasticated. When food is swallowed without proper mastication, okay, food remains unmasticated. Crop, it's basically help to ingest and store food, and gizzard help in mechanical digestion. Okay. Pigeon milk is produced and secreted from the males, from the male pigeons and female pigeons, and it is a crop product. So pigeon milk is secreted from both male and female pigeons, and it is a crop product. Mean the crop, it stores what the food, and that food is further get fermented or it is further developed to form the milk known as pigeon milk, right? Gallbladder is absent. In case of aves, means birds, gallbladder is absent. Cloaca is three-chambered. Same in case of reptilians. Cloaca was three-chambered, so cloaca is three-chambered. It receives the opening of urinary tract, genital ducts. It receives the opening of urinary tract, genital ducts. The cloaca is three-chambered, and also the alimentary canal. Jaws, they lack teeth. Jaws, they don't have teeth, and they are modified into horny beak. Jaws, they lack teeth, they don't have teeth, and they have modified horny beak. Mean beak is present which is modified to basically act as a organ of defense and offense. So jaws, they lack teeth and they are modified into horny beak. Beak has an epidermal horny sheath. Beak is covered by a epidermal horny sheath which is called as Rhamphotheca. So please remember this name, Rhamphotheca. Beak has an epidermal horny sheath. Beak is basically having an epidermal horny sheath, which is called Rhamphotheca. Okay. So jaw, it lacks teeth. Without teeth mean anodontia. And they are modified into horny beak, right? These horny beaks, they help to predate, to help grasp food, and beak has an epidermal horny sheath. Beak is covered by an epidermal horny sheath, which is called Rhamphotheca. Now coming to next, these are various types of claws. Okay, you can see 4 claws, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first digit means the thumb, known as hallux. Okay, the scales are present in the hind limbs only. You can see the scales on the hind limbs. The claws are horny. Okay, so you can see the different types of claws over here. Okay, these are different types of claws in different birds, like woodpecker, pointed curved claws. Okay, then duck, you can say the web shaped claws. Claws are web shaped, they are having a web over here. Okay, now in jacana, you can see like a leaf of a palm tree. Okay, they have a flattened disc. This is known as what? Aquatic leaf. This aquatic leaf basically helps to maintain proper suction so that it helps in attachment, grasp. Understood? So now coming to next, so we have discussed what? That aves, they don't have glands, although preen glands were present in the tail region. Okay. The study of eggs laid by birds are known as what? Oology. And the study of nest, nidology. Huxley, he proposed the term glorified reptiles for birds. Birds, they have wings arranged, which is the arrangement is what? Perilosis. The main characters, the body is distinctly divided into head, neck, trunk, and tail. Neck is long enough and it is flexible enough to lift and to move the mouth or beak. Soft feathers, they are modified stratum corneum and they are known as what? Plumage. Birds are warm-blooded or they are homeothermals or endothermic. Then skin is dry. It is having oil glands on the base of tail known as uropygium. Okay. Birds are known as feather bipeds, mean they have two limbs to walk. Okay. Exoskeleton is present all over the surface body except the hind limbs. Okay. Because hind limbs is having scales. The forelimbs are modified into wings for flight as well as for thermoregulation for conserving the heat. The limbs are best suited so that the bird can sit on branches of trees, perch, walk on land, and swim in water. Crop is an esophageous modification that quickly ingests and stores food. And gizzard, crush means the mechanical digestion. So basically, pigeon milk is a crop product secreted by both male and female pigeons. Gallbladder is absent. Cloaca is three-chambered as it receives the opening of three main organs, the urinary, the genital, and the alimentary canal. Jaws, they don't have teeth, means anodontia, and their beak is horny. Okay, it is covered with a horny sheath, which is known as what? Rhamphotheca. Now, my dear students, there are more general characteristics. Respiration is through spongy lungs. Lungs are spongy. They are very spongy as they have to store or they have to carry very large amount of air. They have spongy lungs which have air sacs. Okay. So these lungs, spongy lungs, they have air sacs. Like we are having a kind of, almost solid lungs as a solid organ. Okay. Air sac is connected to the lungs for supplement respiration. So these air sacs, they basically are connected to the lungs for supplement respiration. In us humans, when we talk about the lungs, lungs are mean the organs in which the air basically goes through the bronchioles. Okay, so these cartilaginous openings, they basically fill in the air. So lungs, they stretch during inhalation and exhalation, but they are basically organs, and they don't, when they are not so spongy in comparison to the aves. The air sac is connected to the lungs for supplement respiration. Soil producing vocal sound producing vocal organ is known as what? Syrinx, is at the junction of trachea and bronchi of the birds, known as syrinx. So syrinx is the sound box which is present at the junction of trachea and bronchi. Heart is four chambered, which has only right aortic arch. Mean aortic arch is not bifid, it is not having two branches. Okay, so they have only right aortic arch. Okay, and heart is four chambered. Hepatic portal system is well developed in birds, but renal portal system is ill developed. Okay, sinus venosus is absent. Sinus venosus is absent in case of birds, as they have a completely or about to complete develop the four chambered heart. That is why sinus venosus is absent. Means there is no mixing of deoxygenated and oxygenated blood. Hepatic portal system is very well developed, but renal portal system is not so much developed. Endoskeleton is fully ossified. Endoskeleton is fully ossified means made up of bones. Long bones are hollow, pneumatic. These hollow bones are known as what? Pneumatic bones, in which air is filled, having air cavity. These bones are called pneumatic bones. These pneumatic bones basically decreases the weight of the body so that they can go through uh, with a comfortable flight. These make the body light-weighted and help in flying. Pneumatic bones. Skull has single occipital condyle. They are monocondylic. Same in case of reptilians. Okay, so skull has a single occipital condyle, means monocondylic. Centrum of vertebrae is heterocylous. So that is very important. In case of apes, especially, the centrum is of which type? Heterocylous. While reptilians, you can see there are mixture of three types of vertebrae: procylus, amphicoelous, and acoelous. Okay. While in case of apes, the centrum of the vertebrae is heterocylous. Okay. Some vertebrae of the posterior body join together to form synsacrum. So some of the vertebrae of the posterior body, they undergoes fusion. So this fusion of vertebrae, it basically forms to form synsacrum. Okay. Last 4 to 5 caudal vertebrae are fused together to form pygostyle. So the sacral vertebrae, sorry, the caudal vertebrae undergoes fusion. So last 4 to 5 caudal vertebrae, they are fused to form pygostyle. And what is synsacrum? Some of the vertebrae of the posterior body, they join together to form synsacrum. So these two terms, synsacrum and pygostyle. Synsacrum is what? Some of the vertebrae of posterior body, they fuse to form synsacrum. And what is pygostyle? Last 4 to 5 caudal vertebrae, they basically forms pygostyle. Sternum is large, which has swollen base part called keel. The sternum is large, which has a swollen basal part, which is known as what? Keel. This keel creates a joint plane for the flight muscles present in the flying birds. So especially when we talk about the flying bird, the birds which undergoes flight, the keel basically helps to provide a plane which helps in joining the flight muscles. The flight muscles, especially of the pectoral part, means the pectoral region, they helps to join in this plane, the plane which is created by keel. Okay, so keel is the last terminal part or the swollen basal part of sternum. Okay, ribs of the birds are bifid. The bird's ribs are bifid with uncinate process. Okay, so when you will study about the structural organization, is when you will learn about the different types of tissues. Okay, especially when you will learn about the skeletal tissues, then you will get to know about the different types of vertebrae and their shape. The ribs of the birds are bifid. You remember that the bird ribs, they are bifid and they have uncinate process. Exoskeleton is in the form of soft feathers, already told, all over the body except hind limbs. So this is the important term, that uncinate process is present in the bifid ribs of birds. Bifid ribs. Pectoral girdle has a foramen of trioceus. This you have to remember. Foramen of trioceus, FOT, is present in the pectoral girdle. So where does this FOT is present? On the pectoral girdle. Okay. The pectoral girdle is having foramen of trioceus, two bones, clavicle and interclavicle are fused to form a V-shaped furcula. Okay. Two bones, clavicle and interclavicle, they are fused to form a V-shaped furcula or wishbone or merry thought bone. Okay. It acts as a spring between two girdles. Okay. I'll show you. Yeah. This is furcula. It acts as a wishbone, or it basically helps to maintain the distance between two pectoral girdles. Understood? Coming to next. Yeah. The foramen of trioceus, FOT, is present in the pectoral girdle. Okay. And two bones, clavicle and interclavicle, they basically arrange in a proper shape to make a V-shaped furcula or wishbone or merry thought bone. It acts as a spring between two pectoral girdles, right? So that those pectoral girdles during the flight, they can increase the volume of the thoracic cavity, to increase the volume of thoracic cavity. Understood? So these are some more general characteristics in which you have to remember the major points. Monocondylic, they have only one condyle. The type of vertebrae is heterocylous. Then synsacrum, posterior vertebrae, they undergo fusion. This fusion is known as what? Basically, it is the fusion known as what? Synsacrum. Then last 4 to 5 caudal vertebrae, they fuse to form pygostyle. Okay, the pygostyle is basically a type of, you can mention it as a caudal vertebrae which undergoes fusion. Understood? Sternum is large and has a swollen basal part known as keel. So sternum is large, which is having a swollen basal part known as keel. This keel creates a joint for the attachment of flight muscles. Understood? Ribs are bifid with uncinate process. Exoskeleton is covered with the soft feathers. Okay, plumage, you understand? Okay, you have already gone through, except the hind legs. From foramen of trioceus is present in the pectoral girdle. Now coming to next, kidneys are metanephric and trilobed. Kidneys are metanephric and trilobed. Ureters are connected to cloaca. I already told you that cloaca is a three-chambered aperture which basically receives the opening of urogenital tract, okay, in urinary and the genital separately. Okay, so kidneys are metanephric, trilobe, and ureters are connected to the cloaca. Understood? Aves are always uricotelic, means they produce uric acid to conserve water. Uric acid is a semi-solid substance excreta of marine birds, especially those live in saline water, is known as guano. So guano basically is seen in the birds which live in salty water. Okay. Uric acid is a semi-solid substance. Okay. So they secrete uric acid because they basically have to conserve water. Most of the birds, they don't have urinary bladder. They don't have urinary bladder, and they don't have copulatory organ. So most of the birds, they don't have urinary bladder and they don't have copulatory organs. Brain is large, smooth, highly developed. Cerebellum is well developed in the aerial mode of life. Okay, so those birds which are having, which are flying birds, when they move from one place to the other place, okay, they basically come up with a very drastic change in their cerebellum. The cerebellum becomes highly developed, especially for the aerial mode of life. 12 pairs of cranial nerves. They have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The skin is the skin around the nostrils is sensory in birds, that is called serrae. So serrae is the skin around the nostrils, which is very sensory, means sensitive in function. It will receive the sensations or the perceptions from the external environment. Eyes are large and well developed, which are surrounded by rings made up of bony plates known as sclerotic ossicles. Very important, very, very important. So eyes are very large and developed, and they are surrounded by rings made up of bony scales or bony plates known as sclerotic ossicles. Okay. So eyes are covered by sclerotic ossicles, which are the bony plates. They are in ring shaped structure, which helps to surround the eyes. Eyes are large and they are having nictitating membrane which is present in eye. Okay. Vision is monocular. Okay. Vision is monocular, means monoscopic vision. Mean they are unidimensional. Understood? So birds, they have vision which is monocular, means monoscopic. Okay, that is why they have a very highly developed cerebellum. Okay, to help them in the uh, in their way for flighting. Okay, for moving from one place to the other place. So nictitating membrane is present in the eye. A specific comb-like structure, pectin, is found in the eyes of all birds except kiwi. Kiwi, it is an exception because it is not having this specific comb-like structure, pectin. Pectin helps in the accommodation of eye, mean it helps in the movement of the radial and the circular muscles of the iris so that it can change the curvature of the lens for power of accommodation. The pectin helps in the accommodation of eye and provides nutrition to the eyeballs. Okay. So pectin, it helps to provide nutrition to the eyeballs. It helps in accommodation of eye, with changing the curvature of the lens so that they can, increase or decrease their focal length. Pectin is absent in kiwi's eye. Okay. It also controls the pressure of liquid, means the humor, aqueous humor and the vitreous humor. Okay. So it basically helps to maintain the ocular tension. Okay. So pectin helps to maintain the ocular tension. Acute vision and telescopic vision of birds is due to pectin. Birds, they have acute vision And telescopic vision, like a telescope, they can, see at very far places their focal length, their maximum focal length, or their far point is very, far. The acute vision and telescopic vision of the birds is due to the pectin only. Pectin provides nutrition to the eyeballs. Pectin helps in the accommodation of eye, and it is absent in kiwis. External ear are present, but ear pinna are absent. External ears are present, mean the meatus is present, but ear pinna absent. Clomilla bone, stapes, one ossicle is found in middle ear. The only middle ear is having one ear ossicle, that is clomilla, which is stapes, which is equivalent to our stapes. Okay. Cochlea not coiled, the cochlea straight, as we are having cochlea mean cochlear canals. Okay, is present in internal ear. So in case of birds, the middle ear is having only one ear ossicle, that is clomilla, and the cochlea is straight, it is not coiled, as we are having in our internal ear. External ears are present, but ear pinna are absent. Okay. Then olfactory organs are less developed. Birds are monodelphic, that is, only left ovary and left oviduct is functional. Monodelphic means they have only one ovary, okay, or one oviduct which is functional in females, whether it is right or left. Here, the left ovary and the left oviduct is functional. Birds are oviparous, mean egg-laying vertebrates. So olfactory organs are less developed. Birds are monodelphic, means they have only one left ovary and left oviduct which is functional. Birds are oviparous vertebrates. Birds are unisexual. Sexual dimorphism is well marked in birds. Copulatory organ usually absent in males. Okay, so males, they don't have copulatory organ. Fertilization is internal. Fertilization happens internally. They are egg-laying oviparous. Eggs are large and megalicythal. The type of egg, because of the large amount of yolk, megalicythal. And they are also covered with calcium carbonate shell, means cleoidic eggs. Shell is perforated. In case of the reptilians, the shell was not perforated. Okay, but here the shells are perforated and they are known as what? Cleoidic eggs. So eggs are megalicythal and cleoidic because of large amount of yolk. Understood? Embryonic development is direct without the intervention of any larva. Embryonic membranes are present, means the extra embryonic membranes, that is chorion, allantoin, then amnioin present. So birds are included under the group Amniota. So reptilians, birds, and mammals, they belong to Amniota, while fishes and amphibians, they belong to Anamniota, mean presence of extra embryonic membranes. Understood? So they have megalicythal eggs. The shells are present for the covering, for the protection of egg, and this is known as what? Cleoidic. They have cleoidic eggs, megalicythal eggs, and the shells which are present, it is perforated. Then embryonic development is direct and embryonic membranes are present, and that is why they are kept under the group of Amniota. Fertilization is internal. Males generally have, they don't have copulatory organs. Okay. Birds are unisexual and sexual dimorphism is well marked. Clomilla is just like our stapes present in the middle ear. Only one ear ossicle is present, that is known as clomilla. Cochlea in case of birds is not coiled, it is straight. Olfactory organs are less developed in case of birds. Birds are monodelphic, means only one ovary or oviduct is functional, that is the left ovary and the left oviduct. Okay. Now coming to next, These are some flightless birds. You have to just remember the name. African ostrich. The genus is Struthio, and where it is found, Africa and Arabia. South American ostrich, genus is Rhea, distribution South America. Cassowary, genus Cassowarius, distribution Australia and New Guinea. Emu, genus Dromeus, distribution Australia. Tinamo, genus Tinamus, South America. And kiwi. Kiwi is also a flightless bird. That is why, being a flightless bird, all others are having pecten, but pecten is absent. Genus Apteryx, New Zealand. Okay. So, African ostrich, you have to remember. Kiwi, you have to remember. Then South American ostrich. Okay. And then cassowary. These names you have to remember. Emu also. Emu. Okay. Now, coming to next. Okay. So, that will be all for today. My dear students, we will be discussing the other features and the other classes and the other content of class 8 in the coming lectures. Okay, like we will also discuss the Archaeopteryx, Archaeopteryx known as the lizard bird, Archaeopteryx. It is considered to be a connecting link between reptiles and birds. Understood? So we will be discussing some more facts about birds in the next class. Till then, please take care, stay safe, stay happy, stay at home. Bye bye, everyone.